Igal's with me now on the show to have his say. Welcome back, Igal. Big breaking news tonight. Talk to me, bro.
Terry, I am gassed. We finally are going to get our number one target. A lot of people said Man City walk into the room, Arsenal leaves. That's not the case. We stayed firm. We got what we wanted, and we paid a record fee. Arsenal paying £105 million for a player, British record for a player. And on top of that, this is probably the biggest English signing we've made since Sol Campbell. This is a statement of intent. And when everyone was saying, oh, what are you going to do next year? How are you going to get better with all the other teams getting better? This is exactly what we needed. A midfield player that can dominate games, control games. And you know what? Everyone's gonna hate. That's what they do. But the reality is Arsenal have shown everyone that we mean business this transfer window, and everyone needs to now just pay attention, because we're no longer this guy that everyone can just laugh at. We're a serious team and we're moving like one.
You are a serious team and you're moving like one. That cannot be denied. And this was something that, you've heard me say this for so many years about Arsenal. Act like a big club. Forget net spend. Forget wage. Oh, we've only got the sixth highest wage bill. Yes, we come fifth, but we pay lower wages, so therefore it's a win. That weird talk. I'm so glad that your owners are not kind of listening to the fans and they've said, no, we're going to behave properly. We're going to buy big. We're going to go to the next level. How does it feel to have a player of Rice's quality turn down Manchester City to join you? How does that make you feel as an Arsenal fan?
Honestly, it makes me very proud. It makes me very proud that we can attract players of his quality. And also, not only that, it makes me very proud that we can finally get a player that we wanted, one of our first targets, over the line. We haven't been able to do that for the last couple of summers because really and truly other clubs' projects were more attractive than us. But now people actually get to see what people want. People seen that we finished second last year and laughed, but a lot of players around world football have seen that and said, you know what, if I come into that team, maybe they can get over the line. And Declan Rice is a testament to that. And honestly, Terry, I think every single Arsenal fan right now is probably gassed, but the job's not done. We still got to go do more, get Timber over the line, get more players over the line, and push on this transfer window. Because this transfer window is not only going to set us up for next season, it can set us up for the future, because we're age-proofing the squad, bringing in a guy like Declan Rice. We're age-proofing the squad, bringing in young guys. Even though I don't rate Kai Havertz to that level, I'm very happy that we're getting these transfers done early. And come preseason, these guys are going to have time to work with each other. And when the season starts, we can hit the ground running. So I'm gassed, Terry, and every Arsenal fan should be. And you know what? You asked me earlier in a WhatsApp group, why was I pointing out at Rivals? Because Rivals were the first one to laugh at us when their business, they haven't done any business this transfer window. A lot of people have not done business this transfer window, but everyone seems to be laughing at Arsenal, saying Arsenal is not a serious club. We're the only one that is bidding numerous bids for numerous players, but yet we're the one that are getting laughed at. We're the ones that are getting two signings almost over the line very soon with Declan Rice and Kai Havertz, and we're the ones getting laughed at, where other people haven't even started making serious bids yet. So when people are laughing at Arsenal and Manchester United for getting bids rejected, look at your own club. Where's your business hat? Because at the end of the day, we're focusing on ourselves. Everyone needs to stop focusing on Arsenal and focus on yourselves. Because really and truly, if everyone's going to do their business the way they say they're going to do it, it's going to be a serious Premier League next year, and we need to be ready for that. And that's what we're doing right now. And the Cronkies, Terry, I was on a stream earlier this season and I said, if the Cronkies back Arteta and this and that, I'm not on the Cronkies no more. At this point, we have to have a squad good enough to compete, and we've not had that. Now we have a squad good enough. It's no longer on the owners. It's on the people on the football pitch to get their job done, because this is what they get paid for. The owners are backing their talk by making these signings, putting their money where their mouth is. Guys, back off the owners. It's not on the owners right now. Right now, it's about the people in the footballing position to get the job done. And Edu, Arteta, they've done well so far with Kai Havertz and Declan Rice. Get Timber over the line, get these other deals over the line, and then we can push on for the Premier League. And maybe in a few years' time, we'll be serious enough to compete for the Champions League.
And now that you've got these players in now, brilliant signings. How do you feel going into the new season now? Like in terms of expectations and everything else kind of surrounding you, there must be a sort of a sense and a feeling now of Arsenal are kind of back to where you want them to be, back competing at the right level. And you must also be thinking that, now's our time to go out there and make some big statements next year and challenge for that Premier League title. And of course, challenge for the Champions League as well.
Champions League is going to come with experience. I don't think first year we're going to be competing for the Champions League, but the Premier League is the goal. Go and try to win that Premier League title this season. Go and try to win silverware this season, be it domestic or anything else. Minimum, bare minimum, we have to compete for the Premier League. We have to compete for all major trophies. We cannot do what we did this season and throw away cups. Cup competitions need to be taken serious, and Mikel Arteta has to do a better job in managing the squad. Now, overall, I'm very happy with this, but it's just the start. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just the start of the journey. By the end of next season, I want to see us holding that Premier League trophy, and that's my ambition, and that should be the ambition of every single player in that dressing room.
Yeah, I agree with you 100. I agree with you 110% when it comes to that. There's no doubt. There's a question for you. Sorry, go on.
Special. We're building something special, and for the longest time, people couldn't see it. You've seen it. Certain other people seen it. There were rivals, but now everyone in world football is starting to open their eyes, because this whole thing that was being laughed at, phase 4, this is the definition of a plan. When you finally can get those pieces to the puzzle. And you know what, Terry? My ambition is this season, we're not going to go and sign a striker. We're not going to get every position we need. But next season, we won't need to go and get every position. Next season, maybe we can go drop 100 million on a striker. Because right now, what we're doing is we're filling out the squad. Next season, we get the icing on the cake. What Man City did last season, getting Erling Haaland, those kind of moves is what we can do next season.
I absolutely agree. I was talking about that earlier with Big Steve, and saying that if these deals work this summer and then you've got a very strong squad, you basically every summer then, if you're in the Champions League, you'd have a what, £200 million kitty every summer. You theoretically can add 2 players every summer of high value to this squad, keep the squad rotating, keep it fresh, keep it of a high quality. You just don't want to ever make the mistake Liverpool made. Now, you haven't won the trophies they've won yet. You haven't won the Champions League, Premier League, or the League Cup. But you can't make their mistake, which was developing a team that overtook City and then failed to invest the right level of money to maintain the standards. You can't go back to going, right, we've had a really good run for 4 years. Let's go back out and buy a bunch of 21, 22, 23-year-olds again and start another 4-year process, because then you might go 6 or 7 years without winning anything. So you have to get that balance right, in my opinion. And you set the precedent now that you can spend, you can attract big players that you can challenge. And, it's the up and up now for Arsenal.
And you know what, guys? Put some respect on Edu's name and these guys, because they get criticized a lot. But at the end of the day, we know how our club does business. No club in world football goes in with their first bid as 105 million. You have to gradually get there, or else the deal would never get done. If we put 100 million on the table on the first day, who's to say West Ham would accept it? They would probably do exactly what they do. And West Ham always had a vested interest to keep their cards close to their chest and try to do whatever they can. And you know what? They were a good job. They did a good job. They briefed the media on everything throughout the way. And Arsenal weren't the people who were briefing the media on all those bids. Arsenal weren't the people briefing. Man City weren't the people briefing it. And you know what? I think a lot of people owe not only Arsenal fans an apology, but they might owe Edu and these guys an apology if they show this kind of level of ambition this transfer window.
I completely agree. I think there's a lot of people that are potentially owed an apology. I really do. There's some super chats here. First one says 100% Egal. I doubted it, but I'm stoked Edu got it done. Dynamic work early in the window. They get on the tour together. I'm quietly confident for 2024. And also, this should now be a marker. And viewers, remember this day. When sporting directors go on holiday at the beginning of the transfer window or the end of the season, there is no reason to. So if Arsenal can sign these players after Edu took a 2-week holiday, anybody's sporting directors can go away. That's obviously a red herring when it comes to a problem. And do you know why? Because most of these conversations are done by WhatsApp, telephone, and Skype. And where these people stay when they go on holiday, there's definitely Wi-Fi. So you don't need to be in an office in London to deal with this situation. You just pick up the phone and make a phone call. Very, very small amounts of this are done face to face. And I'm sure if Edu was in the Maldives, right, and something happens, and like, I need you in London, man could get a private jet like that and fly. So it really isn't a problem. So that's got to stop now. That nonsense has been blown out the water. Terry, honestly, Partey versus Rice, who's better? In my opinion, it's Declan Rice. I've never yielded from that. I've said that. I said that if Partey stays, Rice would work him out of the team eventually. But that doesn't mean Partey isn't very good, in my personal opinion. This here says, I'll do what Arsenal fans have done with us, their jealousy under Roman days in the past. Oh my God, you spent way too much. Oh my God, you're buying your success.
You've literally shown your ass there. Because Chelsea are the definition of spending too much money. They lose composure every time.
This is a question for you, Igal. It says, question for Igal, get Lavia for the future. I think, or keep Party is what he's saying. What would you rather do?
If we can get some reasonable money for Thomas Partey, I think it changes everything, because all Arsenal fans were probably privy to the fact that Thomas Partey was probably going to leave on a free at the end of his contract. Now, if Arsenal can get maybe 40 million and flip that into Lavia, we're age-proofing the squad. In the short term, it is a downgrade. I agree with Lee on saying that. But in the long term, we're age-proofing the squad and we're bringing in a young player right away. Things that other clubs have faltered and made mistakes with when they were trying to go on the ascendancy was the age of their squad caught up to them and they ended up declining. So it's a good thing in the long term.
This here says Arsenal fans remember this day when you go Cronky out, is what Nabil says here.
Nabil, honestly, you're a fan at this point. You love talking about us.
Be honest, how loud was Jess screaming rice baby in the house? Terry, we need to get a gal gif from Hassam. Oh, the dancing. I don't have that dancing one of him anymore. I used to have it on here, but I don't know where it is anymore. So yeah, I can't play it. I'll have to find it from somewhere. But I had to change the music because the music Igawa dances to is copyrightable. But yeah, pretty loud. I just heard literally earlier on today, I was editing something else. She was in the other room, and I just heard yes. I was like, and it was that was when it was announced that City were pulling out. I was like, geez, it was like a goal went in. Brandon's here with us now. How you doing, mate?
All good, Tel. All good. Rice baby and all that. Kai Havertz being announced. Arsenal doing business early. Big business as well. You know, so I don't know who's awoken the beast, but it's been awoken, you know. And this is what I like to see from Arsenal. And let's not forget, it did start from last season as well. You know, we got the majority of our big signings over the line before pre-season even sort of kicked in. And that's a massive help because in recent years, you know, Agal will know this as well. When Arsenal have been very slow in transfer windows, and we've been trying to sign players whilst the season's already kicked off. And you know, Mikel Arteta and Edu, one thing you've got to give them credit for since being here is they've changed that now. You know, we're getting players in early, we're integrating them into the squad in pre-season, so we're ready to go, and we're ready to go out there from match day one and start our season really well. I still feel like there's more to be done. I do think Arsenal will do more as well. You know, I do think Arsenal will do more. And yeah, let's just hope and pray that we can match the expectations that's going to come with it. Because when you're spending the sort of money that we're spending, the expectation has to be next season to once again compete for the league title and win a trophy. That has to be, you know, the expectation from the entire fan base. And you know, when you're going out and spending this sort of money and doing the things that we're doing, and we're hearing that the manager is the driving force behind it, it's a good feeling. You know, it's something we haven't seen at Arsenal for many, many, many years. So, yeah, really happy, really happy.
No, eat your heart out, rivals.
Sorry, go on, Gal.
I was just gonna say, eat your heart out, rivals, because you guys love to talk whenever we miss a signing. But this is probably the biggest signing we've made in near a decade. Forget about decade. This is the biggest signing Arsenal have made in their history, in the sense of like record fee, a player who everybody wanted: Bayern, Manchester United, Chelsea, Man City, Terry. This goes for years. He's been linked to other clubs, and West Ham have made it very difficult for everyone. But honestly, everyone needs to give us our praise here. But yeah, man, I'm gonna have to jump out. But appreciate this. Sending me the link, bro.